Today, Tuesday morning. My name is Ajulu Chuku, just like we usually do, and I'm not alone. I'm with.
All right, my name is Chidimba Oramwa. Good morning and welcome to our breakfast TV show this morning. Right now, we take a short break, and when we come back, we introduce our guests and go straight into what we have for you today. I mean, what the papers are saying. So stay with us. All right, welcome back to the program this morning, the press review, and our guest is already seated with us. His name is Simon Wafo Ezofoma. He is a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, Chidimma. Good morning, our listeners and viewers all over the world.
All right, so quickly, let's delve into what we have for you this day. We are starting with the stories that are trending on our website this morning. And the first story we have is Solution Games Tournament ends in Aguata with a football match. Ezio, the traditional ruler, dismisses alleged takeover of town union leadership by Community Improvement Union General Assembly. Ochanja roundabout water fountain. Anambra Information Commissioner warns against useless propaganda to undermine government. Okay, these are the stories we have on our website this morning. Simon.
Okay, let me start with Ezio, the traditional ruler, dismissing alleged takeover
of town union leadership.
I will implore our community leaders and stakeholders to always eschew bitterness and rancor. Let us abide, let us learn to cohabit peacefully. Because why am I saying, if you hear every day, you will hear one problem or the other. I think yesterday or 2 days ago, we are hearing about Amakonanka and so on and so forth. The town union president and the traditional ruler versus some leaders claiming that the town union and the traditional ruler is selling the excavating sands and causing erosion and so on and so forth. So this is why either one accusation or the other, accusations and counter accusations. So what I'm saying is, let each person play the role, play the game according to rule. Let us always maintain our track. The sky is too wide for two birds to clash. So I don't see why traditional rulers and the town union presidents or one thing or the other should be clashing, because their roles in the society are separated, are defined. So, and the aim, if the aim, because that is the one thing, that is the bane of our society. If the aim is to achieve peace and the progress in the community, there wouldn't be clash. The only thing is when you have personal interest, then you must have a clash of interest, and that is where, if everyone is honest to pursue peace and progress of the community, then I don't see why we should be clashing. That is the point. So if we can learn how to develop the communities, to play our role as the leaders of the community, to achieve the utmost aim, then there wouldn't be clashes. That is my take on that.
So you're talking about each person having their roles and responsibilities.
That is the point.
Stated, so that they will not.
That is the point. And then, because they ought to have been defined. And if we are going according to what is your role, you wouldn't enter another man's track. And if your aim is to make sure that the community progresses, and the aim of this man is to make sure that the community progresses, do you think there will be any clash? It is only when one person wants to overshadow the other or to make the personal interest to override the interest of the general
community.
public. That is where you have a clash.
Okay, Solution Games tournament ends in Aguata with football match. How laudable is that? Saying that the
That
state
is a
government...
welcome development. I think the solution, not only solution game, solution in all aspects of life is trending up in Anambra State. The other day, the governor from this side, the wife from this side. The other day I was listening to the news and I was even telling my wife, I heard where the chairman of secondary, what is it called? PSS, Post-Primary School Service Commission. They went to some schools. And to encourage the better life of Soludo and so forth. And they were able to dictate some of the teachers. It was funny to hear that one head principal was not on seat to one. And then all the teachers who are supposed to be in the class, we are not on seat. And it was the students that we are writing, they will just give one note and we write. So those things are discovered because of the governor's wife's program that is being taken to the grassroots. That's what I'm saying. So the same thing, the solution games is being taken to the grassroots. And from there you discover talents. From there you harness talents. And from there, people will have sense of belonging. This whole state is carried along. So I think it is a commendable venture.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Let's quickly go over to the first paper we have on that review this morning.
The first paper for review this morning was the Punch newspaper. Electricity tariff hike. That's the banner headline. Federal government meeting as Labour threatens indefinite protest. That's there with the rider saying federal government to address Labour's complaint. Protesters some neck block discos offices in states. Federal government may need supplementary budget to pay minimum wage. That's coming from IMF. CBN may intervene as Naira slides to 1,478 Naira per dollar. Atiku Obi initiate alliance talks ahead of 2027 polls. EFCC indicts Sirika brother in new 19 billion Naira fraud. And we see federal government plans performance-based salary scheme for workers. Wow, that's interesting. Amotekun arrests 45 suspected criminals in Ondo State. Delta mother, 16-year-old son found dead, 2 unconscious. POS operators drag CAC to court. That you can find on page 21. And then Governor poll, INEC resumes voter registration in Ondo and Edo states. Quickly, well, a whole lot is happening with this electricity tariff and the hike and the rest of it. Our federal government convenes meeting as Labour threatens for indefinite protest. Sometimes I'm beginning to take Labour's utterances and their comments with Kids Club, because
as if they are not.
I've not really seen them really go toe to toe with this administration in getting the demands of masses. You understand, to the doorsteps of the government, and then getting us something positive. What's your take on that?
That is true. Even before you said it, I was about to say, because that is the major trending issue of the moment. And every human being, I've always maintained that the aim of every administrator, every leader, is to achieve the greatest happiness for the greatest number. If anything, any action you are taking, the greatest number of people are not happy, are grooming, are not in anguish, in
accordance, in tandem,
then you have failed. That is the simple as sure. So now, petrol hike, electricity hike, This dollar are increasing. The other day we are rejoicing that it was coming down. Now it is going up. We will be having stories, promises, CBN to intervene, this and that. Look at what they are saying there. So what I'm saying is, if our labor leaders are reliable, it would have been a hope for the masses. Yes, let them fight for us. Let them go and show these people that people are dying. But the point is, it seems as if, how do they say it in Igbo? It seems as if relying on a shaky teeth. You don't know when they will bargain and mortgage their consciences. Then on the other side, why I am not always annoyed with the rebel is Nigeria is, I don't know what to say. Because you see sometimes, even if you are a good person, the society, the system will corrupt you. Sometimes some people will come with good objective, like the labor leader now. He may come with good, or he may maintain sometimes to push. You will see that the system will try to sabotage it, either through tribalism, religious, some people will find one thing. Look at the height of protests and counter-protests. Every protest from the administration of Buhari till now, every protest people engage on, which is the fundamental right, the government will raise up some, miscreants to go and make counter-protest. Even something that is obvious, you will see some people will be bribed to come and make counter-protest against the genuine cause of the people. So how do we move forward?
All right, thank you so much for that particular submission. Quickly, let's also see the story talking about the alliance between Atiku and Obi. I mean, everyone that saw that particular headline will want to talk about it, because we know what actually happened in the last election, and now seeing that both of them are talking about what about 2027 election. And I would have thought by now Atiku would have been tired of him, talking about being the president or coming out as the presidential candidate of Nigeria. But here he is again, trying to have a meeting with our own Peter Obi to see probably how they can come together and pursue the same agenda of being a presidential candidate. What's your thought on that?
Let us keep our fingers crossed. The mental thing is whatever is hidden will definitely come to the light. And when they have the secret meeting, later, when it starts to unfold, we will see. Now, what you said is very perfect. And sometimes these people can be hilarious. Look at the people, nemesis, are catching up with some people. Look at what is happening. The other day I heard in the news, I am still trying to follow it, that Wike is regretting the action he took in the River State and so on. Because people will always think that they have the whole nation in their pocket. Like what you said about Atiku. Some people, he will try to, because some people said it is my turn, and they achieved it. So some people believe that this nation, it is either it goes their way or nothing will happen. I remember before President Muhammad Buhari came in, he was boasting that if it doesn't go this way, blood will flow. This we did. This a leader, somebody who is supposed to be a statesman. If you don't, then blood will flow. If this type of thing happens again, then and after that, another person will say it is my turn. So Atiku is believing that it is either he achieves his ambition or not, because they believe that some people are born to rule, some are born to serve. That is the point. But let's not see whether Peter Obi will, because for instance, just 2 days ago, they are now blaming themselves. He is now realizing and talking that it is Wike that made Peter Obi to be chased away from PDP. That he said this. They are now, as Ezuta Moroccan, as they say it in Igbo. That's what I said when I had the thing. Ezuta Moroccan, they have ganged up against the Southeast. Now it is, they have seen the boomerang, and they are now confessing in the open. Look at PDP. They are now messing themselves up. He has now seen that PDP is completely dead in Southeast. Because they think they can take us for granted. Look at what is happening in Imo State. Look at what is happening in Ebonyi State. Where is PDP again? Where is even his Articles Foundation? He's now doing like a drowning man. That is what he's doing.
All right, let's quickly go over to the next one. That's the Vanguard newspaper this morning. The big story is still talking about the tariff hike, labor protests, disconnect, NEC, TCN, discos, and offices. And then we have the riders under it. Says privatization of power sector, colossal failure, demands complete reversal. We've heard your concerns, NEC chairman. We'll go back to drawing board. Federal government tells Labour. And we can see the picture of people that came out for the protests in Abuja, Yenagoa, Kaduna, and Ikeja, Lagos State. Banks cut borrowing from CBN by 44% to 12.2 trillion naira. Fubara to probe governance in the last 8 years. 10 billion naira airport contract fraud. EFCC arraigned Sirika brother company today. Tinubu directs mandatory procurement of CNG-powered vehicles by MDAs. CBN will retain a high interest rate to tame inflation. This is coming from Cardoso. Escalating public service wage bills, increasing cost of governance at Baguio. Guba polls, INEC resumes voter registration in Edo and Endo states. And then sports, NFF unveils Finidi as Super Eagles coach. Okay, these are the stories we have on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. You know, you mentioned the story of Wike and Fubara. I mean, now we are seeing that Fubara is out to probe governance in Rivers State in the last 6 years.
That's what I'm telling you. I was listening. The thing is becoming more interesting, sincerely speaking.
More like a movie.
The drama, the movie is becoming more interesting. Because some people think, and do you know what I suppose would have weakened the weekend is hearing from the presidency that he will not take sides in the river. Now, don't you see that a signal is coming? Because do you think that these people don't know? They have consciences. They know the truth. The presidency is scared of Wike. The other day I was reading, somebody was saying that this person made or didn't make mistake to make you this. Jonathan made mistakes to suggest you to be. Jonathan made mistake. Chibike Amechi made mistake to bring you. I was following it to bring you to Jonathan to be made. Then Jonathan made mistake to fight Amechi because of you. They were naming all the people that brought Wike up.
All the collaborations that didn't work.
Then they said all of them now are your enemies. They said, who is that person? You are the only person. Somebody that it is either you are what you said is done or nothing, or the whole house will collapse. What a human being is that? So that is what we see in Nigeria.
Is that what the presidency is afraid of now?
I'm telling you.
To make that decision on, let's stand on equity in this place. I'm not taking sides.
Do you think that those people, the presidency is not being advised? Look at El-Rufai. Have you seen how El-Rufai was sidelined? They know people who will be threats to their destiny, and they are scared of them. They know that Wike is another threat, and they know that. They said that one of my uncles said that any evil you support today will definitely come tomorrow to bite you. Any evil. I'm not saying, I know that Nigeria, but what I'm saying, they know that if they allow Wike one day, he will try to unseat the presidency.
So in other words, are you not saying that the presidency is, wants Wike to be occupied, preoccupied with what is happening in Rivers State, so that he will not remember them, to attack them, attack the present leadership of the country.
Not only that, Wike has realized that he doesn't have that presidency power
backup
or in his control. Because that is, they say that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts. Why he was shouting like Hitler is because he believes that he can order and the soldiers will come. Look at it, the governor now. You can see the signal. If you are following this, you can look at the governor, both to go to the State House of Assembly and demolish it, then relocate the State House of Assembly to the government house, and then seizing the salaries of all the chairmen that are loyal to Wike, that they are crying. I heard them. They played it. They were crying that they are not paralyzed. They are not. So you see that the presidency now is abstaining from the whole drama, saying he will not take any side. So Wike is realizing that he is sitting nowhere now, because once the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do?
Well, thank you for your submission on that. Next, the paper to review this morning is the Daily Independent, and the banner headline is still talking about the tariff, electricity tariff hike protest, power sector privatization, federal government's worst policy mistake. That's coming from Labour, and the writers there says insist on reversal of tariff hike, says increase unacceptable. Asks federal government to reverse privatization, recover assets from investors, paralyzes business activities at discos, NEC offices nationwide. Federal government promises to go back to drawing board and come up with a solution. That you can find on page 29 of the Daily Independent. Next, we have no Nigerian child will be excluded from quality education. That's coming from Tinubu. CSOs ask Nigerians to rise against apartheid policy in power sector. Tinubu orders MDAs to procure CNG-powered vehicles. FEC adjourns meeting, concludes deliberations today. Tinubu swears in 2 NPC commissioners. Fubara vows to probe Wike's administration. The writer says Assembly confirms Dagogo Iboroma as commissioner. Tighten grip on nation's enemies, Sanwo-Olu tells armed forces. And Obi meets Atiku, Saraki, Lamidu over hardship faced by Nigerians. CBN governor says interest rates will stay high until inflation is tamed. Well, I think we will need financial experts to really tell us how that intends to profit or benefit the common Nigeria. Well, but quickly, let us go to this story that we have here, telling us the alliance between Obi, Atiku, Saraki, and Lamidu. These are all political bigwigs in PDP. Like you rightly said not too long ago, the dying embers of PDP in the southern part of Nigeria. What do you think will come out of this alliance? Because this time around, they're not talking about 2027, but they're talking about the present hardship being faced by Nigeria, especially in the area of food shortage. Nigerians are really finding it difficult in that aspect.
Now, the only area I'm interested, and where we are praying, is for Peter Obi to maintain his sound objectivity. Maintain his being objective in following issues. You know why? If you look at, I don't do my analysis with a bias or this thing. I follow things, I analyze things, because I don't support anybody or follow any political party, absolutely no. Look at, if you watch, Peter Obi said that he is now going to play the role of opposition as it ought to be, to criticize the government, objective, and that is what he has been doing. If you look at issues, any issue he comments on, you will see that he's commenting on it objectively. But others like Saraki, Atiku, and so on and so on, I know that they are interested in, they are power brokers, they're interested in acquiring power. That is their major aim. Just like the people we had and we have now. They were not prepared how to govern the nation, move the nation. They are just prepared to acquire the power first. And now they have acquired it. It becomes a problem because they don't know how to use it. But if you see a man who is objective, who knows the role, who plans how to move, It is only when you know the road that you can lead others. That is one thing. So what I'm saying is for him to be very careful. The Igbos used to say, Gina when you are eating with the lion
devil.
or the devil, come with a long spoon. Some will say, don't eat that with him at all. So since those people surrounding him, let him be careful. But I'm not afraid because I know Peter Obi is a diehard himself. So they have tested him. He moved away. And they have seen his weight. Why do you think they're interested in Peter Obi? Why do you think? Do you think they have not seen the handwriting on the wall? Why every honest Nigerian, we know that this man achieved something you can hardly see anybody has achieved. How he changed the whole system. How he changed the Nigeria overnight. People, they didn't give him, but yet people realized Peter Obi is bold now to go to Kaduna. Peter Obi El-Rufai was threatened. Anywhere he comes now, to go to Canada, the whole society will break because of him. They have seen, they know what his worth now. A small person, but doing great things.
But sometimes when you talk about political alliance, I was expecting people giving, let's say, room to upstarters rather than talking about these recycled politicians. This 2027 alliance, like we see in the next paper and we've seen in 2 other papers, to me, it wouldn't cut the mustard seed to me, based on what Nigerians and the exposure Nigerians are now aware. Nigerians want to do a total mopping of these old bandwagons need a new one. So
that's why
Peter Obi forming an alliance, in my own opinion, with any of these old recycled politicians might not necessarily give us the desired result. That's my own kind of opinion.
You are very correct. That's why I say he will be the most foolish person to succumb to these people who believe they have, because why? He has gone a long way. And every honest Nigeria we ought to know that we are fed up with these people. They have messed this nation up. Let all of them go and hide under the carpet. Hearing them, even as I had our INEC is doing this. Look, there are some names you will hear, you become annoyed, sincerely speaking. There are some names I hear, I become annoyed. I don't want, people who are, so
we all know how things are being done
in this country, yeah.
At the end of the day, even if Peter Obi decides to form alliance with some younger people who might be new in politics, you think that he will still get to where he wants to be. Now, owing to the fact we saw how the last election played out, my own suggestion would have been, yes, you can form alliance with these people, but you know what you're doing. At the end of the day, you get what you want, and then you
But would these people allow you to have what you want?
No, that
you
is why.
Along.
That
and
is
if
why.
it's not going to favor you, you now withdraw.
That is why. She's very, very correct. That's my he will be a stupid person to allow them to intimidate when he has gone such far. But he can, and the people in Igbo, they used to say, he can now pretend when they are, chameleons. You pretend as if you are, and then know where you are going. But once they try to bring the old nature, you say he will withdraw again. But if they finally conclude, okay, let us give him a chance. We are sorry, we denied you.
Exactly. That's the kind of alliance that I need.
That is what people will hear. We are sorry we denied you this opportunity. Instead of this in week and so on, who comes to play the spoilers game. Let us do and that, but let us know how we do. Then people will say, okay. And since they are the power broker, they can hope to quench, because Peter Obi alone cannot achieve it.
Of course.
They can hope to gather their sides and then let Nigeria move forward.
All right, quickly, let's go over to the Nation newspaper this morning. FEC adopts CNG-powered vehicles for ministries and agencies. Federal government targets less use of petrol to stem rising cost of living and boost economy. That's the banner headline. INEC plans new voter registration in Edo and Ondo State. Restructuring of NYSC for future challenge starts. Finidi Mount Sado vows Regi of Super Eagles. NFF unveils head coach. Atiku Obi, Sirika Lamido begin 2027 coalition talks. We've talked about it. Productivity-based wage coming for workers. And then down there, Labour seeks reversal of electricity tariff increase. TUC NLC, Picket, FVC, and Discos, others. Fubara to raise a pro-panel in Wike's government. MBA takes annual conference to Kano. Gender-based violence to end. And then the next paper is the Guardian newspaper. Mistrust, greed, the stall take off of new telephony licenses in 31 states. 2027 opposition party leaders to meet over mega party. 255 local vessels registered abroad as Nigeria lags in registry digitalization. And then we've talked about Obi meets Atiku Sereki, orders over Nigeria's woes. NLC, Pickett, and NEC, concerns as U.S. study visa refusal reach record levels in 2023. Stock investors lose 3.8 trillion naira in less than 2 months. These are the stories we have on the front pages of The Nation and the Guardian newspaper. Let's talk about this productivity-based wage coming for workers. How do you see that? I mean, what's your thought on that? And do you think that will make workers to be more productive if actually it's implemented?
Yes, thank you for the last one. If actually it's implemented. Some people used to say, in Igbos, they used to say, we are no longer interested in anything promised in this nation. But actually anything that will, incentive or some of these things is what motivates a worker to give maximum productivity. So if actually it is implemented to the letter, and if actually it is followed honestly and sincerely, it is what grows a society, a nation. Those are the things. When you come into any organization, any establishment, any society, once the aim is to, I used to tell people that equity does not mean giving each person, giving equal things to each person. No. Equity means giving each man what he deserves. That is equity. Giving each man what he deserves.
More like you write an exam and what your score turns out to be is what you based on what the amount you read,
the amount,
and then the scores you get.
The same thing now, if we are establishing a business, what you invest is what you get in return. That is equity. It's not equity. It's not like they do in Nigeria. Sharing things equal. That is not equity. If somebody will score 200%, somebody will score 10%, then you say educational disadvantage area. Then it's not equity. Equity means giving each man what he deserves, what he invested. And so that is it. So if they do that, if they follow it to improve productivity, that is what grows a society.
All right. So let's quickly see the last two papers because of want of time.
The next paper we have for review is the Daily Trust, and the banner headline, terrorists kill 5 soldiers, many villagers in Katsina. Raise houses and military silent. We have a mega party talks resurface as Obi visits Atiku Lamido Saraki. Federal government productivity-based wage system for workers. Slain FIRS official planning marriage in December. That's coming from the uncle. Tariff hike. Labour insists on reversal of Pickett's neck disco offices. Tinubu directs MDAs to buy CNG-powered vehicles. 3 killed as rival gangs clash in Kano. Fubara hints at probing Wike's administration. And quickly, we have the New Telegraph. The banner headline is saying, Fubara vows to probe Wike's administration, moves to set up panel of inquiry. Federal government pushing more Nigerians into poverty. Crippling businesses, that's coming from NLC and TUC. Study discovers THC in breast milk of mothers using cannabis. Nigeria records $282.6 million total direct remittance in first quarter. And then what else we have here? OB article, we've seen that. Land recovery, Delta demolishes structures on universities and colleges, orders Melinda to receive $12.5 billion after resigning from Gates Foundation. Lastly, Uni Abuja strike. NANS flares ASU over insensitivity to students and parents' plight in that area. That's all we have there. Let's.
Okay, we can also see a story there. Header attack, food shortage imminent as Benue farmer desert communities.
Yes, that is, if you look at terrorists kill 5 soldiers, the other day it was in Kogi State University. So this is what we are hearing. Sometimes one will start to wonder, how did we get to this stage? How did we, some of us who grew, or even the younger ones, people who are born from 70s, 80s, and 60s, and so on and so forth. How did we get to this stage? Going to universities, every day they will be diversifying tactics, system. They are carrying it. You cannot say that anywhere is safe now. So farmers, why should we not? The other day I posted where I was farming in the village. I posted it online. I said, because that is the trend now. That is the only solution to the imminent danger of hunger and starvation.
If the food basket of the nation can no longer
that is it.
Then it means that
with your money, you can't even get.
You cannot buy. That is, you must have something, even vegetable that you can. If it gets to, you go to the backyard and look. Not only food basket of nation. Enugu State here, people are being killed every day. Going to farm, women are raped. Nowhere, those people who used to do small farming and bring it to these urban cities so that the cost will be reduced. They are no longer people. How can you hear that people are killed in tens, in hundreds, and this you will be going tomorrow? People are killed. Look at the that was in the news a few years ago. Now they attacked them again. If they have infiltrated to every nook and cranny of this nation, killing people anyhow, kidnapping, we call them bandits, we call them one thing or other, but they are terrorists, they are killers. And they are something motivated them to go to this level. The other day I heard that Meti Ara was saying that they have been victimized this in Southeast, Anambra and Enugu in particular, that they are cattle and this and that. They just cover it up by saying that a security agency should fish out evil, that not every was committed. The other day, when the Abia State governor came in, he discovered a mass grave where many heads were buried. And after it was shown, it was when the man said, "Now you will no longer sleep in the market." They denied that they are not. So we are not deceiving ourselves. The point is, the government let them sit up. Because they are not.
These people are also Nigerians. That when we have food scarcity, it's going to affect
everybody.
Who told you they are Nigerians?
I mean, they are in Nigeria now, and some of them are Nigerians too, and they are in Nigeria. So if we have food scarcity, that we don't even have more to eat, it's going to affect everyone.
That is true in a way, but look at it. The time we are struggling for naira scarcity, this and that. Did you not see terrorists that we are the new naira note that MFL introduced? Did you not see terrorists that we are showing it online?
This naira you can store it, but foodstuffs you cannot store it for a very long time. So the perishable items you cannot store it for a very long time.
These people have connection. They have connection with when they have difficulty, they kidnap and make money. They have connection even outside the country. They take them. They are here. The same people that are here can be in Chad. They can be in. They move. They can have connection to get. Then the masses who cannot afford it will be suffering.
So, all in all, what are we now expected to do, or what should the government do at this particular point?
It's very simple. That is the primary purpose of government. Section 14(2)(b) of the primary purpose of any government is security and welfare. If the government is serious about it, they know what to do. Even before, that's why I said, how did we get to this? Because they knew how they allowed it. If they had not allowed it, it wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have been here we are now. So the same government now, why could they not allow some people to be there? Look at when Jonathan was there. He appointed, as the chief of army staff. He dealt with, they started bringing all allegations. Even this PMB said any attack on this thing is an attack on North, and so on and so forth. So they know what they're doing. If the government is serious, it's just to say enough of this, and then put this thing in place to check all these things. This nonsense will stop. Are you telling me that they have more weapons than the army? If they will mean what you're saying.
Well, that's where we are bringing to an end the press review segment of Good Morning Anambra. And once a big thank you to you, Simon Wafo is a former public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you very much, my host. Thank you, our viewers. May we continue to hope that tomorrow will be better. Let us not lose hope.
All right. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll see you at the other side. My name is Chidin Maoran. Stay with us.
And I'm Ajuluchuku Okabwe. Thank you for watching.